Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome along to the front three. My name's James Cook, and in this video we're going to be taking a look ahead towards the international break, and we'll be kicking things off with England's match against Slovenia this Saturday. Now, going into this game, I would say that England they've got a lot of momentum behind them. I mean, they've had some excellent wins against the likes of Switzerland, who I honestly thought would be the toughest team to play in this group. And I think we're going into this game with a lot of confidence, a lot to build on, and I think it's good to see that we're finally progressing and this England side isn't really stagnating. I mean, what you traditionally find with England in the modern game is that they play a lot of lethargic, kind of boring football in a sense, and then they win the game for a Wayne Rooney penalty or a Danny Welbeck header from a corner. That's typically how England have played over the past couple of months, and I think following what was a shambolic World Cup in truth, we've really got to respond from that. And qualifying for the Euros, obviously, it's going to be massively important for us. We lead our group with 9 points. We've won all 3 fixtures, and we've got an excellent goal tally as well. I think we've scored 8 goals, and we've conceded none. It's great to see that defence is really shaping up well. A good partnership being formed between the likes of Gary Cahill, Phil Jagielka, and we're also seeing a couple of new players come into the frame of things, the likes of Kieran Gibbs, who's been called up to the England squad again. It's yet again another excellent opportunity for him. And whilst I'm on the topic of the England squad, I mean, I know quite a few players have left through injury, but the call-up of Michael Carrick into the side, this was something I didn't really understand, especially over Mark Noble. I think Mark Noble is someone for West Ham, especially this season, that has been absolute quality, and I think he's certainly been a more prolific player than Michael Carrick has been, and that's not just because he's been injured, but Michael Carrick, I know he's a very versatile and adaptable player, but I just think it's only fair that Mark Noble was called ahead of him. And on the other hand, Mark Noble isn't injured for this one, because Carrick has been withdrawn from the squad due to injury, as has Andros Townsend. Of course, looking at England as well, they've got Theo Walcott back in the side, which is obviously going to be a massive boost. He's going to bring pace, flair, should I say, and power to that front line, and he should be teaming up well with his fellow Arsenal teammate Danny Welbeck. And it's not too long now before Sturridge comes back into the frame of things for him. It's going to be really exciting to see how all these players integrate and to see how they perform. I also want to see good things from Wayne Rooney in this one. I think it's fair to say that he has been a good captain for England at the time he's been in charge of the team. I think given how we've certainly played a lot better with him as captain, and he's certainly a prolific goal scorer, a proven goal scorer at that, and hopefully he can lead this team to great things. But I think the main focus at the moment is certainly getting past Slovenia, who aren't going to make things easy for us, certainly not, but I would expect us to take this game by the scruff of the neck and hopefully go out there and get the win. The next noteworthy fixture would have to be Scotland's game against the Republic of Ireland, and I'm really looking forward to this game because it's such a typically old-fashioned fixture between two great nations, and it should be a really entertaining spectacle for a neutral fan. Both sides can boast some really exciting players, the likes of Seamus Coleman for Ireland, Shane Long as well for them, and of course Scotland have got some really good players such as Stephen Naismith. But again, they're both teams thriving with talent, probably not the teams you would expect to be doing so well in their group, because both sides, in fairness to them, are really taking that group by storm, and they're both putting in some really good displays. Scotland especially with a really good battle against Germany, and it's going to be really interesting to see which one of these two progresses from that group. So the next game I'm going to be looking towards is Italy's fixture against Croatia, and this is a game that should certainly be an entertaining spectacle. And I think the main talking point of it really has been that Mario Balotelli is returning into the Azzurri lineup, and you know, it's something that it does surprise me in a sense, because he's been playing so poorly at Liverpool in recent months, and does he honestly deserve a place in that starting lineup? And I think it's fair enough of the Italy manager to give him a chance in that team. Maybe that's going to restore some confidence in him. You know, maybe this could be a turning point for Balotelli, and maybe we'll see him flourish from this point on. But certainly his recent performances for Liverpool have shown a lot more to be desired. But it's going to be interesting to see how he plays for his country when he's got the likes of Stefano Sharawi, Destro, Immobile alongside him, and then they've got great players in midfield, the likes of Marchisio, the Maestro, Pirlo, and I'd say the defence is kind of what lets Italy down a bit at times, as was proven in the World Cup. So I think this is going to be a really exciting game, and of course you can't rule out Croatia in this one. They've got some excellent players in their squad, the likes of Luka Modric, Rakitic, so it's going to be really interesting to see how all these players line up and what the final score will be in this one. The final fixture I'm going to be looking at is Belgium's game against Wales, and this game is one that I've really been anticipating, because Belgium, I think they've got to go into this game certainly with a point to prove. I think that their World Cup, I don't think it lived up to the expectations that a lot of people were expecting of them in a sense, because I think although they did get to a respectable point in the World Cup, certainly a lot better than England did, their performances certainly weren't the most flattering, and I think given the talent that they've got in their side, the likes of Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, even players like Mario Fellaini who can do a job, you would expect a little bit more from them, and you would have expected to see a better array of talent on their behalf. And certainly at times it was very scrappy from them getting the wins in those fixtures in the World Cup. But going into this game against Wales, Wales are the leaders in their group, and they're not going to be a tough team. They're going to be a tough team to break down, should I say. They've got the likes of Gareth Bale in their side. They've got a fairly steady defence, the likes of James Collins in there. And although they might not have the most prolific names, certainly they don't have the names that Belgium do. They work very well as a unit. They're a very solid team. It's going to be exciting to see how these two nations match up against each other. I mean, one player that I'm going to be putting a big eye on in this one is certainly Aaron Ramsey. Over the past couple of months for Arsenal, certainly hasn't lived up to the heights that he did last season. I'm interested to see whether how well he's going to play for his country in this. So it should be a really entertaining game, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. Anyway, guys, those have been my thoughts on some of the most anticipated fixtures coming up this weekend in the international break. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like rating. Comment in the comments box if you'd like to see a few more of these in the future. Subscribe to The Front Three, and as always, thank you for watching, guys.